I really believe we have to start focusing on what people care about. What does that mean, right? Well, we got to start talking about the issues that people care about. Whether it's healthcare, energy, education, government reform, defense, we have to offer solutions to the problems at hand. And it doesn't always mean it's a government solution. But what it does mean is that Republicans have to be about the business of offering up solutions and saying that while it may not be a government solution, there is another solution, a free market solution that will allow us to achieve the same end game. For instance, in healthcare, we hear the talk about the socialized medicine program, the universal health care. We all know that system doesn't work. We but look to England and Canada. We don't want bureaucrats and politicians deciding who lives and who dies. But what's our solution? We have to get about the business of saying there's a better way. There are other ideas like allowing small business health associations, where you allow small businesses to group together to pool resources and spread risk and provide quality health care at an affordable price. This is a more free market solution that allows us to still get to the end game of providing better health care options for those who don't have those options today. If we're not about the business of offering up solutions, we're going to be about the business of losing. Period. You know, energy is another area where we have a tremendous opportunity in this state. Colorado is an energy state. We have to offer up solutions because energy is closely tied to our economy. Right now, millions of people are out of jobs. Businesses are closing doors all around. The unemployment lines grow longer by the day. We have to offer up energy solutions that says, look, you know, we have the technology that allows us to do additional oil and gas exploration while also embracing alternative options like nuclear, biomass, geothermal to embrace those newer technologies down the road. But we have the ability to do additional oil and gas exploration through technologies that will respect our environment, and in doing so, we will create millions of jobs, generating billions of barrels of oil that will lessen our dependence on foreign sources. These are the types of solutions that people will buy into. Education. This is another area where we have to offer up solutions. You know, the Democrats in D.C. just recently did away with a program that was working. You guys heard about the Scholarship Opportunity Program. I'm a big advocate of choice in education. I co-founded a public charter school for the kids up in northeastern Aurora, and my wife Kathy and I, we put our children where our mouth is at. All three of our kids go there. But in D.C., what they did is they took away a program forced by labor union leadership that was working for disadvantaged kids who didn't have an opportunity to succeed. A program that was giving them an opportunity to actually make a life for themselves. And it wasn't just talk. The data proved it. It said that as compared to their peers in the Washington, D.C. school district, they were doing better. Yet the Democrats did away with it. We as Republicans have an opportunity to say, no, there's a better solution. Let's not do away with it. Let's expand it. Let's expand it. Let's give this same type of opportunity to other kids around the country, not just in D.C., but right here in Colorado. These are the types of solutions that if we start to be about the business of solutions, I believe we can not only turn out our base, but we can pull at least half, if not more, of those unaffiliated voters. It's up to us. We can't be about the business of no. No is not enough. It's no, but this is a better direction. So I offer up to you this. I better get back to my teleprompter. We start offering solutions, we will win. And we can do it in a way in which we are principled. You know, I grew up in a low-income, working-poor neighborhood. It was tough. It was high crime, struggling schools. My mother, who separated from my father and later divorced when I was 7 years old, worked 2 jobs to provide for 3 boys. We didn't have a lot, but we had each other. And she instilled in us a sense of right and wrong, faith in the Almighty. Do your best to make a life for yourself. And that stayed with me throughout all my life. And so when I moved here to Colorado 12 years ago, Kathy and my wife and I, all we had to our name. We had a Honda Civic, a 13-inch TV, a pillow, a blanket, and our clothes. That's it. But we also had a dream that somehow, some way, we would make a life for ourselves. And we as Republicans have an opportunity to say there are solutions that will allow the individual to make a life for themselves. The freedom to decide what's best for them. And the liberty to live it as they see best. That's the Republican Party that can regain the majority and the confidence of America. These are tough times. Less than 1 in 4 people, at least this was reported, identify as Republicans now. So we have a ways to go. We have to grow the party. And again, solutions, I believe, should lead the way. Solutions that people can buy into, that make sense. Democrats do a great job of talking about people. We do a terrible job. We need to talk about how our solutions allow the individual to make a life for themselves. Before I graduated from Columbia College with my undergraduate and Regis University with my graduate degree, and before I went through the Harvard University Senior Executives Program, I always say I first graduated through the School of Hard Knocks. Life was tough. And I know that many Americans are out there struggling, trying to figure a way to make it. We have to be about the business of seeing how our solutions will enable that person to make it, to make a life for themselves. I believe that's what we have to do in order to appeal to a wider populace and to grow our party. But I think as we do so, let us not forget our principles. Let us ensure that we do it in a very principled way. It does not mean that we abandon our ideals or our principles, but rather we find a way to better communicate those. As Bill Hibble told me, I was down in Colorado Springs, and he's a prominent businessman down there. He said, Ryan, when it comes to conservatism, like Reagan did, we got to put a better coat on it. We got to put a better coat on conservatism. Because we've done a poor job of that in recent years. That said, now is the time. If ever there was a point in history, now is the time. With the levels of fiscal irresponsibility we are seeing in this country and what it is doing to both ourselves and, more importantly, our children, which is immoral, it's irresponsible, and quite frankly, it's unacceptable. We have an opportunity to say that there is a better way, a more fiscally responsible way, a government that is for the people, of the people, by the people, not on the people, squeezing the people on top of the people. Now's the time. Now's the time to stand up for a free market. A free market where you have the opportunity to make a life for yourself, run your business, start your farm, find that job. Free market where you can succeed, although some will fail. But everyone has the freedom to pick themselves back up and make a life for themselves. With a fiscally responsible government that works for the people, that keeps our taxes low, that builds roads and water systems, that protects our rights, upholds the Constitution, and defends our country. That strengthens the free enterprise system, embraces technology for self-government, gives parents choice in their child's education, and yes, a government that gives people that needs it a hand up, not a handout. And for most Americans, a government that keeps its hands off our lives, respecting our liberty and individual responsibility.